This is how I made $1,152 day trading NASDAQ today on April 29th, 2026. Coming into the morning, we can see that price action, we still have this all-time high price action. ES is slightly more choppy than NQ. NQ is more trend, following more of a trend structure than ES is. Coming into the day, I was not wanting to force a trade because I have been in a drawdown and I've just not been hitting recently. But nonetheless, I'm just going to take what the market gives me, and if the trade's there to present itself, we still have to take it no matter what. Coming into the day, as we can see the hourly here, we have both indexes still in a uptrend on the hourly. We see we get a break of structure back to the upside on ES here. And then once we put in a new low, we've never closed below it. This is the low, and then once this low is put in, London session low is the new hourly low to break structure to the downside. Similar situation with NQ. We break structure to the upside. This is our new low. We don't close below it. We come down. This low right here is London sessions, our new hourly low to break hourly structure to the downside. So still an uptrend on the hourly after making this 4-hour retrace move. So what this looks like on the 4-hour is a situation where we make a push down yesterday, and then what we do is we retrace about 50% overnight in the PM session on both indexes. We get a 50% retracement of this 4-hour move, and then from here it could go either way. So from there, we really just, once we retrace up in this 50%, things could go either way, and we just have to be willing to work with what price gives. Now, coming into the day, I had these were my thoughts coming into the day. Let me drop down here to the 15-minute, and we can see things a little better. So let me get to our 9:30 candle. This is our 9:30 candle here. So what we have is a situation where both indexes have Asia high here. NQ has equal 5-minute / not 15-minute, but 5-minute highs. This 288.5 and then this 288.5 here. Equal highs here at London session. So two different levels where London session has equal highs. So based off of this, what we see before the market is, let me get to 8:45. 8:45, what we have is a situation where ES comes down, sweeps out London session low. We don't really have another hourly low over here other than these lows down here. NQ, what NQ does, prior to open, it sweeps out London low, puts in an equal low with Asia low. So this is 191.75. This is 191.75. So I was looking for one of two things to happen here. At market open, either we come up, because both of these are good draws on liquidity. We have equal lows, session lows, and equal session highs here. We could either come down, sweep out these lows, maybe sweep out this low, and then go towards these relative, not equal, but close highs paired with these equal highs here at London session. Or we immediately come up, take out these highs, these equal highs on London session, which then would allow ES to run further, take out these relatively equal hourly lows here and this low down here. And then if this ES was to come out, take down these lows, we could also target these equal lows on NQ. So this is one thing where I was just waiting for price to play its hand. Let me get to the 9:30 candle here, 9:45 candle actually. So this is our 9:30 candle. This is our 9:45 candle. First 15 minutes open, what we get is a situation at open where NQ comes down, takes out London session, this hourly level, and now we're just kind of floating in no man's land until we get this hourly low down here. Our next hourly draw on liquidity on NQ is down here at 9.5. It's close enough. But ES is now closer to these lows. So at this time, we have to ask ourselves, what are the closer draws on liquidity? What look to be the more dominant targets and draws to take? What looks to be the main objective? And at this current time, the main objective looks to be ES taking out these prior day lows and these prior day lows from over here on the 24th. But for that to happen, we were going to need some sort of a retrace and a continuation to show us that confirmation. So once again, let me jump down here to the 5-minute. What we get is 950. Where is 950? Yep. So if ES was going to come down, take out these lows, with the fact that it sold off so hard at market open, I was wanting to see some sort of a retrace, a SMT, if you will, to then confirm to us that ES was wanting to come down and take out these lows. But what we get instead, we get a SMT from here. We get a 5-minute SMT on between NQ and ES to send NQ higher. We have a bullish SMT where NQ does not put in a new low, but ES does here. Now, this could very well just be a 5-minute SMT to send NQ up, maybe pop above this high while ES stays below it to allow ES to go down and rotate down to the downside. So this is a situation where we just have to pay attention to the 5-minute structure. And what we have on the next candle is a situation where NQ breaks 5-minute structure to the upside. And ES is down here. So what we do have here is a potential SMT from here up to here and from here down to here. Now that very well could propel ES to go down and take out these two daily low levels here. But with how strong NQ was to break this structure to the upside, and it now being the same distance away from these equal highs, just about as ES is from these hourly lows, I really liked the opportunity for NQ to come up and take out these highs. Now, I will admit, I did enter prematurely. I did enter some on this 5-minute breaker structure. You'll see some of my entry was, I entered in some on an eval account on this 1-minute breaker structure here. Just because this offered a good risk of the reward, this is an eval account. So I entered in some here to go up towards these London highs. But my main accounts, what we have is a situation where I entered in on this 5-minute breaker structure candle to the upside. So it's going to be this candle. So I entered in a little bit into premium. This is something that I've been doing recently, is slightly chasing early entry. I need to be more patient on my entries because after this 5-minute breaker structure, things could have still have gone one of two ways. This very well could be a SMT to send ES lower. So what I wanted to see from ES is a 5-minute breaker structure to the upside, and a 5-minute inversion of a gap to confirm that we wanted to go higher. And this next candle, what we did is we chop around for a bit. ES is debating if it wants to break structure to the upside or inverse this gap. And once I saw that ES broke 5-minute structure to the upside by breaking above this high, that was a good step in the first direction, or first step in the right direction. But I still would have liked ES to inverse this gap. So on the next candle, what we get for one of our normal entries, we get a 5-minute break of structure, inversion to the upside. We get a retrace into a 5-minute confluence, which is exactly what we get. And then what do? We get a push out of it. So after that, we see that ES inverses this 5-minute gap to the upside. So now we're bullish on the 5-minute on both indexes. With how far ES is away from these hourly lows, and due to the fact that NQ is miles away from this daily low down there, and we're respecting 5-minute order flow, I really liked NQ longs up to these highs. So what did I did after this 5-minute confirmation continuation? I entered in more size after we inverse this 1-minute gap to the upside. I entered in here. I still kept my lows down below this last 1-minute fair value gap because I've realized that I've been getting exact stopped out recently quite a bit, or not just recently, but for a while now. And I finally realized that that's just the execution error on my part. I've been focusing more on what an ideal risk to reward would look like rather than when my trade would be truly invalidated. I'm going to stop placing my losses around well, this would be a good time for price to bounce area slash stop. And I want to make sure I give my trades enough room to truly invalidate my idea before getting stopped out. So once or NQ inverse this 1 minute gap to the upside, we're continuing 5 minute structure. I entered in more size. My first, there's a bunch of relative equal 5 minute highs here. We've got all these highs here, but I wanted my first take profit up here at these equal London highs, and that's exactly what I did. And then I got a crappy fill here. Got kind of lucky because Asia session high was my next take profit. I don't know if it hit it on NQ or MNQ, but not NASDAQ or NQ, but I ended up getting filled here somehow. And that's a good thing because I would have got stopped out break even before price sold off eventually. And what this ended up being after NASDAQ came up, took out Asia or London session highs, this ended up being the SMT that was needed to send ES to, take out these hourly lows, these daily lows down here, which it ultimately ended up doing. So two ways could have been played today, but I really like these equal session highs up here at NQ. We got a good entry model on the second portion of our entry. On this 5 minute break of structure, I was too early. I should have waited more for this retrace into this inverse gap and a push out of it. This was a much better entry because we also had ES with a 5 minute break of structure to the upside and inversing this 5 minute gap. So we had ES and NQ aligned to the upside, which allowed NQ to come up and take out these equal highs. But that was today's trade recap, and thank you.